Okay, so we're going to back up a little bit and start from here today, more on strings of the of most of the data types. It's the string data type that will give you the most trouble in terms of cleaning data, because that's where you will have lots of typos, and it is important to be able to catch those typos and correct them. Mostly these will be like categorical variables, nominal variables. So like one example of nominal variable would be student data, what is the major? So major, sometimes people may make mistakes typing the major or zip code. Some people may write a zip code. First of all, zip code is a numeric value stored as a string. So sometimes a 0 may be missing at the beginning, because if it is entered, when the data is prepared and if it is brought in like a numeric variable, then the leading 0 will be omitted and you will have only 4 digits. And that's not a valid zip code. So these are the kinds of problems that you will see in string variables, and therefore string variable, there are lots and lots of built-in functions available for handling string variables. Okay, and we already looked at some features of string variable. So now in this section we are looking at string indexing. The string variables can be many different lengths, and you can zoom in to a certain portion of the string variable, the string data. So you can look for where a problem is to figure out the index number of where that problem is, and then you can fix that problem. Okay, so that's the reason why we need to know how to index a particular position in a string. And so here, this is a string exclamation mark is the variable that contains that string, and then you can index a particular portion of the string with a square bracket. So you can provide a single index number, then it will get that particular index, the letter at that index position. Okay. Or you can give a range, then it will give you the substring that occupies that range. Okay. And of course, you can start counting the index from the left. Okay. And remember, the index number starts with a 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Or you can start from the right side, in which case you have to provide the index as a negative number. So if the index that you give is a negative number, then it will start from the right side. Okay, and we will be looking at this in chapter 3 again, and here is a nice illustration of how the index numbers work in Python. So if this is a string like hello and an exclamation mark, so you can look at the index numbers as going from the left to right, as starting from the left edge of each position. So you start with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then when you give a range, okay, like if you go 2 through 4, then you start with 2, okay, and then you end, okay, with 4 right there. Okay, the 4th position is not counted. Okay, so that's important to understand. And again, the negative side. Okay, so here is how the negative indexes will work. So you have -1 through -6. So if you provide -3, for example, then it will be that one. Okay, and here this will be like -5 through -2, which will be up to here. Okay, ELL would be the substring for that range. Okay. So it is a kind of, it is a little unusual, so you have to get used to it. Yeah.
So when you're starting from the left, it doesn't count that the last number and like the 4, but when you're starting from the right, it won't count the first number, the -5.
That's right, because this is the starting point. -5 is the starting point, so it starts from here. So it counts the starting point, and it doesn't count the ending point. So -2 is that and doesn't get counted. Okay. Yeah. The negative index is the index to start with is is a little different from how we are used to, and the negative index makes it even more confusing sometimes. Yeah. -5 colon -3. Positive number. So like if you put -5 colon 3. Okay. Well, let's try it. I don't know the answer to it, so let's try. So S4, okay, and then we say -5 to 3. Okay, let's make it -5 to +5. Okay, it doesn't give you anything. Okay, of course, if you leave it, if you put a colon and say nothing afterward, that means everything to the right would be. So this will work. This will be the rest of it. Okay, so let's say -5. Let's make that a little bigger. So let's say -10. Okay, so -10. All right, so -11 is, I think, that one. Okay, and then say 8. Yeah. That's SAS. It works. It works. So you can have a negative starting point. And of course, the reason why we didn't get anything back was the ending point was to the left of the starting point when it was -5, 3. So that's the reason why we didn't get anything back. So, so if you put a negative number here, and the index that you should have after the colon must be something to the right of that negative number. Okay. Anything else? Good. Now string slicing. Okay, so that's string slicing. We just looked at it. Modifying strings. Strings cannot be directly changed. They are immutable. Okay. Make the desired changes and save them in a different variable. Okay. So you cannot go and change something in between because it is immutable and you cannot change. You will see one more data type of that kind. So what we need to do is, if you're going to change something, then you have to save it in a different variable. Okay. So here in this example, so if I want to insert, okay, so this is a string, is what S4 is, right? Now I want to insert this phrase, okay, between this point and that point. So that is that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 8 is not counted, so up to that point. So S4 S4 8 would be from the beginning up to 7, not including 8. And then we have 7 through the end. Okay, so that would be that. So between these two, I want to insert this phrase. So I can use plus sign. Plus sign acts like concatenation. So it just adds two together. So you get that. Okay. All right. So consider a string. This is a sentence. Use slicing to extract the substring is A. So that's your. So first you enter, save the sentence into a string, say STRA, okay, and copy that into it, okay. All right. So now you need to extract is A using slicing. Okay. So question 9 is 5 through 9, and question 10 is you pick up from this STRA from the beginning to 10, and then you add a line, and then the period to the rest. So that's your replacing the word sentence with line.